tonight we have a phenomenal treat for everyone. These cookies are surely a hit with us and all of our friends. So tonight, girls, what are we making? Southern pecan chocolate chip cookies. Yes. So they are going to be wonderful. If you have your cell phone or a notebook nearby, this is a heirloom recipe. I collect cookbooks, and so what I've done to come up with this recipe is I've combined quite a few good chocolate chip recipes that I've read about over the years. So this one is my favorite. So first, you start off with 3 sticks of melted butter. We're going to pour that in. It's all good and melted. Then you add a half a cup of sugar. Anna, add it in. Half a cup of regular white sugar.
And then you need some brown sugar.
Then you're right, Anna. You're going to add 2 cups of brown sugar. And then we're going to stir that up. Put it on 3, Anna. Yes, 3. Go to 3. Thanks. And we're going to mix that up really, really well. This cake, or I should say these cookies, are so easy to make and they're quick to make. While we're mixing up all of our ingredients, we have our oven preheating to 350 degrees. So you want to preheat your oven for these cookies. So you're mixing all of your sugar up, your brown sugar, your white sugar, and you're going to mix that up until that's nice and creamy. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to add your flour. And in your flour, you're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder. Julia, add that to your flour. A teaspoon of baking soda, a teaspoon of cornstarch, and a half of a teaspoon of salt. You're going to put all that into your dry ingredients. And then you're just going to take your spatula and mix that in. And actually you have 4 cups of flour here. So into your 4 cups of flour, you're going to add your cornstarch, your baking soda, and your salt. And for all of my wonderful bakers out there, you're adding your leveling agents. This is what's going to give some dimension to your cookies so they won't be so flat. Anna, can you turn that down for me?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, and now we're going to roll it down. We're going to add our 4 cups of flour. And we're going to add about a cup at a time.
Like a little, right?
Okay, roll it back up, Anna. Okay, very slowly. Okay, make sure slowly. Put it on 2. And you're just going to slowly mix that in. How's it looking, Julia? Good. These cookies are great. The girls love to make these cookies, don't you? And this is going to make about 24 cookies. Okay? Again, I'll mention to you that this is a very simple chocolate chip cookie recipe.
Kind of looks like peanut butter.
Oh, Anna says it kind of looks like peanut butter as she's mixing it up. Anna, can you turn it back down to 0? Okay, we're going to add another cup of flour. Okay, back to 2. Okay, and you're just going to slowly mix this in. You definitely don't want to hurry and mix it because all of your flour will bounce back at you.
Yeah. You put it like on 6 or 8 or 10.
It- Yes, we'll have a big explosion of flour if we do it too fast. Okay, you girls are doing a phenomenal job. This is also a part of this recipe comes from my godmother, Eliza Cave. She was a home economics teacher in South Carolina. So for you all who went to school in Aiken County, I am more than confident she taught you home economics. And this is a foundational chocolate chip recipe. I just modified it a little bit, and we'll get to that ingredient in just a moment. So into your bowl, you have your flour, your sugar, and your butter. Okay, now we're going to let's turn it off, Anna. Now we're going to add our last cup of flour.
Little
Yes.
Put it back on 2, right?
You're going to put it back on 2. Okay? And we're going to make sure that's all mixed in well. So this time, Anna, if you can put it on 6 to make sure it's mixed in well. Yes. Okay. Now, when you see it going kind of fast, you can always slow it down
Yeah, like on
a tad.
4.
Yes.
Ours is counted by 2.
Okay, put it on 4.
6, 8,
Okay. That's mixing in well. Now it's time for your eggs. So, Anna, can you turn it down to 2?
10. Oh.
And we'll add our eggs. You're adding 2 whole large eggs and 1 egg yolk. So you have 2 large eggs and 1 egg yolk you're going to add. Yes.
So you wanted it to be extra like slimy?
No, you want it to be smooth. You see how smooth it's getting now?
Yes. It's
Good.
kind of looking like the sand out
A
there.
little bit. It's mixing in well now.
Blue.
Okay, Anna, if you can turn it up to 4.
4.
That's 6. 4. Okay. That's 4. Good job. Julia, if you can add, all right, let's add our chocolate chips first. 1 second. 1 second.
With the lemon in it, with it.
Before we get to the chocolate chips, let's add the vanilla.
Yup.
So you need to turn it down to 2, Anna. And you're going to put a tablespoon of vanilla. Turn it down to 2. Good job. Yes. And to these cookies, I add a half a cup of rum. So we're going to pour the rum in. And these cookies are delightful. Half a cup of rum. Now we're going to add a cup of pecans.
And it'll start smelling really good.
Yes, it will. It's smelling really good already. 1 cup of pecans.
Pecans are mixing in really well.
Yes, our pecans are mixing in very well.
Next.
One of the wonderful things about the pecans, if you have a pecan tree at home and you're looking for something to do with them, these cookies are great. And finally, the chocolate chips. Slowly. Okay. No. Okay, once the chocolate chips are in, you don't want to mix them that much more.
Yes, because they can like fly out. Kind of.
Yes, they can fly out.
Starting to stick together.
That's all starting to stick together.
Roll it down.
Roll it down. Now, with any cookie dough that you make, you want to chill it for about an hour to help it get nice and firm. So you're going to chill your cookie dough for an hour before you bake them. In the meantime, we're going to get some cookie dough that we made earlier out. And we're going to scoop those up for you. Okay? Anna, can you get our pan and the scoops? Julia, we're going to clean up our area before we get going. Okay? And basically, you take your regular cookie sheet, and we like to use parchment paper because this ensures that our cookies will not stick to the pan. You can find parchment paper at any of your local grocery stores. We just buy a roll of it and we cut it to the size of the pan. We personally like to cook 6 large cookies at a time. That's why we have the smaller pan, but if you have a longer sheet pan that you like to use, please feel free to use that. But this just makes it really easy. And what the girls are going to do, they're going to scoop it in. If you're making this with children, there's squares on your parchment paper, so they'll know exactly where to place them. So we put 1 scoop down. We're going to put 6 scoops on our parchment paper. Right there. Anna, good job.
And then you also want to
Not yet. We're going to push secondly. Second. So we're going to put 6 on. Let's fill yours up. Okay, good job. No, that's good. We can always move it around. Let me help you. Just a second. Just a second. Here you go, Julia. Let me help you, Anna. Just a second. Just a second. I'll hand it to you. Okay, good job. How many do we have? 6. Okay, that's the 6th one. Now, what you want to do is you want to, just a second, you want to press them down. Just a little bit. You're going to press your cookies down. That's good. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Go ahead, Anna. Just a little bit to help them form. And then you're going to stick these in the oven for 10 minutes. So, Julia, can you go ahead and stick them in? Stick those in. And we're going to bake those for 10 minutes. What we did is that we definitely made these cookies ahead of time so we could try them and so you could see what they look like. So we're going to get a plate so you all can see what these cookies look like and how they turn out. They are really, really, really good. I'll just bring the whole container over. Anna, you have the plates? Good job. If you cook them for about 10 minutes, they'll still remain very soft. These are really good with ice cream. My husband likes to eat these with ice cream, but they are delicious. Can you grab one more plate for us, Julia? Just a moment. They are delicious. Here you go, Julia. But this is how your cookie will turn out. So they will be nice and firm and they'll be soft in the middle. This is, again, like I said, a wonderful classic recipe. And the spin that we put on these Southern chocolate chip cookies is that they have a half a cup of rum in them. And they are absolutely delicious. We thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Next week, we have some more delicious treats that we're going to show you how to make from scratch. Isn't that right, ladies?
Yes.
Again, thank you so much. And please, please make these cookies at home or any of the desserts that we've made over the last few weeks. You will surely enjoy them as well as your family. Have a good evening.